All right. So anyway, I made your little logos and I thought it'd be fun to just put it in there, and I kind of goofed around with this. Obviously, we'll have to go through and reword this, but that's when you have time, right? But that's your website. Do you have access to this? You're probably going to need access again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll reset that. So the beautiful thing about this is that you have funnels, like sales funnels. So you can add people to the database by offering a sales magnet, right? For us, a sales magnet is like 3 things you need to know before you hire a real estate agent. And that's what I was talking to you on text about, is that I need to know what people are using for basic sales magnets and what you think would be a great sales magnet. Once we create the magnet, so this is what a standard checklist would look, or like a lead magnet would look like, a sales magnet, right? This is something, if you're thinking about buying a house, download this home buyer's checklist, give me your basic information and you'll get this. What happens is that we put it into this funnel, and the funnel goes into the database. So you have as many unlimited contacts. You could put everybody in your current database in there. It comes with something like a Calendly. So you have appointments to set up. We can set up an appointment thing. Let's say that the funnel has the lead magnet. You put in your information. Great, thank you. If you want to set an initial appointment, here you go. Set up an appointment with me when you're available. This gets connected to your calendar, whether it's Gmail or whatever. And if you're not available, then it shows it as busy. You have like a pipeline here, and in the dashboard, it tells you how much money you should be expecting, whether they're leads, prospects, or clients. And that's how I do it. That's how I've been doing it for 30 years. If you're a lead, you're not qualified. You're just a looky-loo. Once we have a conversation and I qualify you as a prospective client, then you become a prospect. So that's how these little things come through, right? If you can take payments, you can do that. But that's more for like gyms and hairdressers.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
Just because of the way financial advisors get paid, but the rest for sure. The other piece of technology that I'm probably gonna be paying for, I have to figure out how I can make it link with this, which I think I can, no problem. It kind of does the lead magnet thing, but you got my wheels turning here about how I can actually dial this in even more for my target market that I'm going after with this new website. Because this would be a separate offering from the folks I'm serving right now. They'd have to opt into this. Like who I'm serving right now is how I'm serving them. This is going to be a different thing. It's going to be going after specifically small business owners or people who are self-employed. You're kind of like an avatar for that. In addition to that, it'll also focus on people who want to best look after the. Anyway, I got a whole thing on that I can go into, but I think I can build out a pretty good magnet that will attract that person to want to fill out something.
You give me the idea and the bullet points, and I can make it look pretty, like this thing right here, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then we can go back and forth and try to figure that out. That's probably the most important thing, other than your domain.
Okay. The domain. So that's. Oh yeah, going back to that, I don't think that quite got clear with me. I'm not sure where I pay for that thing. So I'm paying on Squarespace. I have a domain there. I'm pretty sure that I can. I just never made public because I never finished building it out. So do I need to keep that, or am I moving that to here?
In order for you to host it, it costs X amount of money. Sometimes it's $3, sometimes it's $20 a month. So now you're maxed at $40 a month. We host your website, so that's part of this fee. And
okay, so I only have to do the domain cost on Squarespace, right?
Right.
Got it.
And you can do it on domains.com. You can do it on Squarespace. You can do it. There's 100 different companies. GoDaddy. Okay. We just need to log in. You need to log in. I'll show you how to do it and what data to add to it so that it points to this website. I'll do the rest. And then you have a blog, you have a client portal, you have forms, which goes to the funnels. The forms tells the funnel how to ask for the information. And then we add that to the database automatically. And once it's added to the database, it gets knocked into a lead, prospect, or client. And with each of those parts of the funnel, there's a workflow. And remember, I was saying that you have, and I'm recording this, so I'll send this to you so you can go back over it if you're so inclined. But with a lead, be like, hey, thanks for downloading it. Here's your lead magnet. And then the next day you would send them something on an email. And the next day you would send them something on a text. And then the next day would be a voicemail drop. So you don't have to call them up on the third or fourth day and say, hey,
Right.
this is Pat. I'm dropping a quick voicemail. I just wanted to see if there's any questions about that lead, whatever. It's all done for you. You do it once and we drop it in there and it's done automatically. And the next day it's a video. And it could be a video that goes out on a text and email
Perfect.
the same
Perfect.
time. So it's all done automatically.
And then just to make sure I understand, this also comes with the email address. And so it'll have all that, or doesn't?
It has an email. We have to set up your email address to go somewhere. So you'd have to have patrick@coreplan.com. And we can have that integrated with this. It could be info@coreplan.com.
So could I do an American and like AWP, patrick@awp.com?
Yeah, whatever it is you want. We just have to connect it so that you get information from it. The other part of this
That's
workflow
where
is
I'm not clear. Do I need to pay for like an email service?
Nope.
Separate from what I'm doing already?
Nope. We have it forwarded to whatever email you want it to go to.
Got you. So it'll get forwarded to my Patrick McAndrew at corepln.com.
Whatever it is. You tell me what it is, I'll point it. And it's just basically what it does is it takes it, it alerts you of a new lead, or it alerts you saying you have a new calendar appointment, or alerts you and tells you blah, blah, blah. Inside the calendar, it actually puts it on your calendar for you, and it does the workflow part too. So let's say that you're like, oh, I like Vito. I think we've already qualified him. I think he's going to buy. We'll pop that over to a prospect, and then another workflow comes in. Here are the things that we're going to be needing to talk to you about. These are the questions I'm going to be asking you so you can be prepared for our meeting. So you're already setting up expectations and agenda, and then everything's asking for something. So you always want to ask for the next step, whatever the next step is. So from a sales point of view, you might be like, here's the information. And by the way, next week, I'm sending you something on XYZ investing tactics, or ABC ways to generate wealth, or side hustle. The idea is to have 6, 12, 15 different lead magnets. And once they're leads, then you send those leads to them so that you send that sales magnet to them every couple of weeks so that they get an abundance of it. You've already captured their information. You already know who they are. So for me, I have buyer checklist. I have things you should be looking out for if you're looking at a house, open house checklist, home inspection checklist, stuff you can do when you're looking at a house. All these 10 different things your lender's going to ask you to get pre-approved for a loan. Then the next one is like, what does it look like when you're in contract? Just set up those expectations so people, and then you're sending that abundance of value to them. You're educating before they're even ready. And one day they might pick that up. 6 months down the road, they might pick it up and say, oh, that's really helpful. I'm going to have to ask them about it. Then they ask you a question, you're like, boom. And then the next 6 months further down the road, they call you up and say, hey, I think I'm ready to talk turkey. Then you pop them into the prospect. You set them up on an appointment. No. The idea is to give them value without asking. Show them the way, show them your knowledge, show them your expertise. And then when they're ready, they'll call you. And if you did it with 10,000 people, the idea is you're going to get 100, 200 people that are interested in becoming prospects, right? So it's like a big funnel.
Got it. I think that is awesome. And just to help me with my decision making for other stuff I got to decide on, but just want to be, maybe I just got to play around with it to see if this is a thing. Like, do I still need a piece where I keep all notes that I can reference about a client? You know what I mean? Like, I can keep that client's file as a living memory in there where I can go back. Okay, this is what we talked about last time. This is where they're at. Here's my note to go do this in 6 months.
Yes. While you're on the call, you should have this up with contacts or conversations. And within conversations, you have all the information, whether it's been an email back and forth, a text back and forth, a voicemail, a record. This actually records every conversation you have. So you can go back and do that. And then on the side, you'll have little notes over here that you can type in. Say, these are the things that need to be done. And then when you send it to your admin, the admin will go, okay, these are the things I've done. Task, done. Right? It's overwhelmingly powerful.
Okay,
so
awesome. So that solves my problem. I don't need to pay for a separate CRM because they'll be built into here.
Right.
Okay.
And
sweet.
All the videos that you might want, your headshots, everything gets stuck right here. And technically you have 100 gigabytes of storage. It's not like a drive. It's not like a Google Drive. It's more like you can't use this and say, get a link and then it'll pop up on your website. You would actually have to use that and then put it onto your website, or you can't use it. You might be able to use it like in the social planner thing, but there's a little trick to it. You can't download it. I don't know how to download it, but you can use it within the system. So, and you can actually save video on this as well. So you have tons of memory here too. And then there's also this like Yoast or Yelp It's not Yoast. It's Yoast, something like that. And then if you're doing Google Ads, we can pop ads for you. And there's 1,000 different things that we can do. So going back to marketing, you have a social planner. If you want to set out, like, say, 10 posts a month.
Stuff's there. Yeah.
It's all right there for you to do that. Looks like we just connected TikTok, and they're adding more every month. So this is going to grow, and it's like a big, huge calendar where you can set it up. You can have the same post repeat every 3, 6 months, 6 weeks, whatever you want. We can have one-offs. You can send it out on certain times. Here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep this from you having to do it. I want you to get to the point where you're so successful. You're like, Vito, I can't handle this social planning thing. Can you handle it? Yes, of course. I can't handle creating all these lead magnets. Yes, of course we can do that. The more successful you get, the more you'll pay us to do all this stuff. So you're basically hiring a virtual assistant to do this stuff for you within that system. It's all done for you. That's the whole idea behind what AIDA is. And AIDA is the top part of the funnel: attraction, interest, desire, action. So we get your attention, and then we gain your interest, right, through abundance. You get that desire, and then you click over. And that's the whole idea behind what a funnel is. It's the top part of the funnel, right? And these are the main things that we're doing. So once we get deeper into what you do, we might be able to say, like, a pillar of excellence, knowledge that you do really well in. For me, it's helping seniors sell their houses. Or for me, it's helping people move out of the state. Those are the little things that I have as far as pillars are concerned. And we already showed you the analytics and then communication. So the idea, again, is that the more you buy into it, the more you get, but it also becomes the more we do for you. And and the reason why AIDA looks like a robot is because we want it to look as seamless as AI, but there's really people behind doing it. There's a lot of automation that we're setting up so it looks automated, or it looks like AI is doing it, but it's really automation.
And yeah, I'm happy and scaling it up especially as things come on board and it lines up right. And I think I could probably funnel people this way because I'm in the independent space now, and it's just like a bunch of agents that it's more like each one of them advisors can do this too. Like they could do what they want to for a certain right to include this, and so they're constantly trying to figure out how to best build their stack, right?
And if they use it, if they sign on, they would use the Patrick McAndrew link, and then you would get 10% of whatever they buy into, and they get a discount off of that pricing that they see too.
And I think you answered this too, because the other two things I'm gonna work on kind of concurrently. One is because I partner with Taylor now for property and casualty. Not now. I will be though. I'm gonna get my property and casualty license. I'm gonna partner with him to have a license hang there, and I want to build out another website and Instagram and all that stuff, marketing for vet-owned businesses, and then another one for family-owned businesses. Like I like to work with tightly held companies, like family-owned, small. That's what I love.
So think of it more like a fundamental point of excellence. Remember, I was talking about those pillar pages. You can have a total page totally focused on family-run businesses, right? And you can get with John and you can help build that business that way, or whichever banker you want to use, right? So the idea is to give them ways to understand it, and sharing content like what we do with the financial intelligence. You're sharing content. Once you get up and running with this, you can say, if you're more interested in learning more about X, sign up here. Right. It'll all flow a lot better once you get started, because
and all I would have to be doing there is paying probably for additional domains, which I can back link to my main website, right?
Yep.
Got it.
So you might be.
So I want them all to be kind of connected, but the front face initially funnel goes to that target market, and then if they want to do other things, they can get funneled back to the main financial planning page.
Right.
All that stuff is just a way to market to different segments and get my foot in the door for other things. I'm not a property casualty agent. I just know somebody who is and really good at it, and have him do that stuff. I can just manage the relationship.
Right. You're pushing people over to something like this, and once you get somebody to fill that information out, then this is the first part of the funnel. You put your basic information in there, and then you have a landing page saying, hey, thanks for downloading this. You'll get that in a few minutes. It actually comes to their email, so make sure that they put the right email in there. And then you can set it up so that Taylor would get a notification saying, hey, you got a new lead from Patrick. Here's the information. If you want to learn how to log in, he can log into your CRM.
Got it.
So it works perfect, right? And it's all about setting it up so that you don't have to do jack. There's no manual touches on this. And I have my real estate set up so that when I get something like somebody sends it information there, I just get an email saying, hey, somebody signed up. You might want to follow up with them.
So the other platform that I'm probably going to take on is what it does is it offers a QR code, send them to take ask them some very basic questions. It's already all built out. And that's some very basic questions and kind of gives them a scorecard of where they're at. Like, hey, this is where you're at in your savings. This is where you're at in your debt. This is where you're at. Like, gives them a very simple scorecard. And then if you want to increase your scores, right, this is how you talk. I'm giving you a very, very 30,000 foot view of it. So it has it all kind of built out, and then it helps me build like basically a one-page financial plan. It keeps it very simple. Now there's a bunch of analytics going on the backside that I got to work, but it creates a very simple interface with the client that keeps things simple, because the business owners are busy and they want to keep things simple. They're relying on me, right, to do that backside stuff. They just want the meat and potatoes, not exactly every ingredient. So I'll just have to figure out how that can integrate here, which I think it will. I think it'll integrate just fine. Thanks, man.
All right, dude. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.